show me man, show me man. Aure man, aure man. Show me. Aure.
Recycling. Rachel Hammerman, 4th grade. What is recycling? Recycling is a term used to describe a series of activities that includes collecting recyclable materials that will otherwise be considered waste. What does the recycling symbol mean? The first top arrow represents the collection of recyclable materials for processing. The bottom arrow represents the recyclables being processed into recycled products. The bottom left arrow is the most important. It represents that consumer actually buys a product with recycled content. What are the 3 R's of recycling? Reduce. Reduce means to use less of something. Some examples are: use a handkerchief instead of tissues. Use a cotton rag when cleaning house instead of paper towels. Use a sports bottle instead of buying bottled water every day. Reuse. Reuse is to put again into service without changing. Examples are wrapping paper, floppy disk, plastic grocery bags. Recycle. Recycle is to put again into service with changing. Examples are cans, glass, plastics. What are some things I can recycle? Paper, cardboard, glass, steel cans, batteries, plastic, tires, shoes, computers. What are some items that I cannot recycle? Ceramics, windows, light bulbs, mirrors, spray cans. Where do I take my recyclables? A local recycling center, a local waste recycling center, at campsite, a local bulky waste recycling center. How can recycling conserve our natural resources? Recycling conserves natural resources by substituting secondary resources such as glass, metal, and paper for raw materials extracted. By recycling paper, the need to cut down trees reduces. By recycling aluminium, it minimizes the need for mining new minerals, thereby decreasing damage to the wilderness. How does recycling save energy? The energy required to manufacture paper, plastic, glass, and metal from recycled materials is usually less than the energy required to produce them from new materials. The steps such as collection, processing, and transportation is also usually less energy than the steps in supplying new materials. How can students start a recycling program at their school? There are 3 steps to starting one. The first step is to get key questions answered such as: who will run the program? What kind of recyclables does the school produce? How will the recyclables get to the senders? The second step is creating a recycling program at your school is to find out who will take the collected recyclables to a sender. Will the school ask a sender to pick up the recyclables? Or will there be volunteers to bring the recyclables? The final step is to put the program into gear by having a recycling club to manage it. Each classroom should have a bin to put their recyclables in. The school's offices should also have bins. Recycling club should have the task of emptying the classroom and office bins, oversee the collection in their area, and be a check to see if what is being recycled is recyclable. Inform new students of the recycling program. Remind students of what can be recycled. Encourage participation from classmates and teacher. What can I do now in school to help? Bring your lunch in reusable lunch bags with reusable silverware. Reuse paper if you can. When typing, use a smaller font and bigger margins. Use refillable pens and pencils. What can I do at home to help? Bring old glasses to eye doctors. Bring old clothes to Goodwill. Use glass cups and plates instead of paper. Use cloth napkins instead of paper. Buy in bulk rather than buying smaller bottles of something. Reuse glass bottles or containers. These things to remember. The 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. Recycling helps to conserve our natural resources, energy, and keeps less out of our landfills. Starting a program at your school helps to tell people of how recycling is such an important for everyone to take part in. It's fun.
Show me, show me, show me, paude, 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 reka teka.